Hello everybody, welcome back. It's Judicious Fire and I am here with a very special video. This is a video that's a long time in the making. Kind of a culmination of a lot of work over the last couple of, I'm going to say up to a year now. And that was our trait system. Our trait system functions on 8 different traits. If you can get them up to level 5 and get them all to match, you then get access to a level 7 enchantment. I have been able to do that on each hero, and I'm going to show that to you today. I'm going to go through the heroes just in terms of their trait system and their enchantment. I can do another video where I do the same thing with talents and insignias. This is just our armory and the trait and enchantment system. Let's jump into the armory. We can best access anything involving traits or enchantments through the armory. So let me go down here. The helmet, and then the sword in the center. Okay, here we go. We have the trait and enchantment system. Just a very, very brief review. Our trait system functions as follows. We go to any of the heroes. Let's pick Paladin. And we see that the enchantment is labeled as well as a exclamation point. Hit the exclamation point. And it takes you to the compendium of enchantments. It tends to be buried pretty deeply in this game. But through that exclamation point, you're then able to see every enchantment at every level up to max. And really know what you're doing before you actually do it. Back out of there again. Let's jump into the hero altar. I'm going to pick PD. Make a point about this, and then we'll jump into the actual heroes. I want to go to his main abilities. Okay. Sword at the top. Sword at the top represents attack. His ability to do damage against the enemy. If you choose attack traits, that's what's going to be increased. Your ability to do damage against the enemy. The heart represents health or his health pool, HP. If you choose HP or health traits, that will increase, making his likelihood to stay alive a little bit higher. We have accuracy as well. Accuracy is the hero's ability to hit another hero in combat. Accuracy reduces the likelihood that the opponent will dodge the hit. Dodge. Dodge will increase your hero's likelihood that your hero will dodge the hit, avoiding the attack completely. A opponent that has very, very high accuracy will tend to cancel out your dodge. Higher your dodge, better chance you won't get hit. Crit. Crit is your ability to do critical damage in combat. Critical damage is not a second attack in combat. It is only one attack. You perform an attack, let's say for 100,000 damage. You then get a critical strike. That critical strike of, say, 100,000 damage is added to the original 100,000. Giving you one hit for a total of 200,000. Critical damage does not increase number of hits in combat, just the cumulative damage from those hits in combat. Critical damage. Critical damage is the damage that the enemy takes when you perform a successful critical strike. Critical damage is completely meaningless unless you have a very high critical rate or crit. If you do not have a sufficient crit, you will not perform a crit attack or crit strike. Thereby, no critical damage can take place. So make sure that you have a high crit rate or crit before you invest traits in critical damage. Crit resist. That is your likelihood to avoid a critical attack from an opponent. Higher your crit resist, the less chance that you're going to get hit with by somebody else's crit. Those are the traits that we have to choose from. The very most brief aside, and then I'm jumping into these heroes, I promise. Crit resist. I personally, as a player, have never found, it's just my opinion, have never found any kind of benefit to crit resist. In order to perform a critical strike, the opponent must hit one of my heroes. Crit strike can't just happen out of nowhere. A hit has to happen, a successful attack. Thereby, if one of my heroes has a very, very high dodge rate, then the opponent will not successfully attack that hero, and thereby, no critical strike could occur. Meaning, better to invest in dodge and avoid attacks and the likelihood of crits, rather than invest in crit resist and simply reduce the likelihood of crit attacks. That's the way I look at it. Let's get on. All right, let's jump to Armory. Where are you? That's Narcia. Narcia land. I need a map. Okay, here we go, friends. Got every hero in the game. Go through all this, that, and the other thing. Boy, it's a long walk. Those who have played since the beginning, they view this not just as a compendium of heroes, enchantments, and traits, but a calendar, a representative of time invested in this game. Okay, we're many years ago. We're when music was good. Let's take a look at Paladin. No more fussing around. Let's get down to business. We're looking at just enchantments and traits, nothing else. Holy Conviction. Make him a tank. He is a tank. Make him a better tank. Yeah, there are a lot of other things you can choose. I'm not saying these are the best. This is what I have and my rationale behind it. That's it. Make him a better tank. Traits. I gave him HP. It's probably better to give him dodge. Probably better to avoid the hit than to be able to sustain repeated hits. But that is kind of what he does. Am I using Paladin? No, I'm not using Paladin. I have to be honest with you. I have to stink him back out every time. So I don't mind putting the HP on him. I think it's great. HP or dodge, you can't go wrong. Spirit Mage. Spirit Mage, why? You can do a lot of different things with Spirit Mage. A Holy Conviction is really, really nice. General build Spirit Mage, can't do you wrong. A Hyper Strength Spirit Mage is really, really nice. He has no cooldown. He has no reason to pause before activating his skill. Paladin, who we just saw, does have a cooldown. It's not written in his skill description. It's a mistake. It's an oversight. Paladin does have a cooldown. Otherwise, I would have invested in that. We've got Spirit Mage. With this Spirit Mage build and a high dodge rate, he can sit in front of a dozen gunslingers in Insane 8, and they can't touch him. He'll just keep pumping out magic missiles. Energy reduction can't touch him. But Holy Conviction is great too. And all dodge. I just pump dodge on the guy. Ninja. Ninja has no cooldown. Invest in that. Really nothing else to do with Ninja. Give him as much energy production as possible with Hyper Strength. Also adds to his attack. He's a great attacker. Give him accuracy. If he's not hitting, he's doing nothing. I can do the back button. I can do the back button. Pardon me, friends. Alright, Succubus. Succubus, doesn't matter what you do with her. She is not going to be able to change the amount of damage that she does. It's a fixed damage based on the percentage health of the enemy. All accuracy. If she's not doing that, she's not doing any kind of damage. Give her Hyper Strength to increase the energy production. With no cooldown, she's able to keep hitting like that again, again, again. Champ, no cooldown. Let him keep stunning again and again and again. He can stun lock, I'd say up to boss 3. Easy. All accuracy. If he's not hitting, he's not stunning. Druid. Druid also has no cooldown. You can make the argument, yeah, give him hyper strength. Then he'll keep pumping out energy, keep procking. That's what we want. But he is a real supporter in this game. He is a strong healer. He's a strong buffer. And I think it's a good idea to try to keep him alive. He's like the healer on your, Dungeons and Dragons team that you want to keep alive. And you keep him in the back. Give him some Holy Conviction. Fantastic. I gave him all dodge. I gave him the ability to stay away from danger. I would prefer that for any of my buffers. Hero killers, you give them accuracy for the most part. Buffers, you give them dodge. Keep them out of danger. Thunder God. Thunder God has no cooldown. He is a hero that you don't have to wait before his skill activates. So pump him with a bunch of energy, give him some more attack. Let him hit. This Thunder God, yeah, he can destroy a lot, but I gotta tell you, if I take Thunder God too far out of the garage, the engine breaks down. He's still an older hero. They have to change these heroes and their skill descriptions, apply damage reduction. That's a different video. Pumpkin Duke. Pumpkin Duke. I use Pumpkin Duke for one specific thing, and that is for high DPS modes. Number 1, Archdemon. Number 2, something like an Ember Army. Number 3, maybe a boss battle. That is why the Hyper Strength. He has no cooldown. Take advantage of that. Pump him with as much energy as you possibly can. I have traits that go all attack. That's so I can always hit max damage against damage-capped enemies. A better Pumpkin Duke, I think, for general game use would be a Pumpkin Duke that has something like a Holy Conviction. Something that is going to, or even an Energy Surge, something that is going to provide some dodge or some damage reduction, maybe a better healing process from an outside healing source. Give him dodge traits. You'll be enjoying PD much more. He's also one of the best heroes for dungeons. I think dodge is a really great way to go for him. Minnow. Minnow is just a base smasher. If you've got a Minnow, don't do anything else than just make him a base smasher. That's all he is. You don't teach the Warlock how to sing. Hyper strength, give him as much attack as you can possibly do. A little bit of extra energy production. Hey, that didn't hurt. All attack. Let the man go out there, smash, boom, done. Grizzly Reaper. Grizzly Reaper has no cooldown. Minnow does. Grizzly does not. Grizzly, you should take advantage of that. I could give him hyper strength, absolutely. But he is so weak. And I mean that in the sense that his health pool is so low and his ability to take damage is so low that he just gets vaporized immediately. I had to give him some damage reduction. So in theory, hyper strength would probably be the best idea. But in practice, Holy Conviction is going to be the key. In traits, again, strange. I was thinking about all accuracy in theory and on paper. An all accuracy Grizzly Reaper is the best way to go. He's a hero killer. He's a sniper. He's one of the old school snipers from the days of pre-Guild Wars. But again, he's like a paper ghost, okay? And he does not last long. So I gave him dodge. I was lucky enough to be able to get the dodge. I went with that. Accuracy, dodge, you can't go wrong either way. Just make sure that when you take Grizz out that he's got a bulletproof vest. Atlanticore. Atlanticore is a very useful hero. Atlanticore is a hero that deflects 100% of the damage that he takes. He has a cooldown. So in that brief second when his shield goes down, he's a dead man. But when that shield is up, anybody attacking him is pretty much dead too. Dead by their own design. There's very few enchantments to put on Atlanticore that will help him as a hero. And thinking long and hard over a period of, I guess since this enchantment system came around, I keep always going back to Cursed Battlefield. The heroes that are attacking him receive more damage. It's about the best you can get from a hero that's designed to make the attackers receive damage. There you go. Traits. I give him all health. If you gave him dodge, then his deflect shield would not work as well. Accuracy means nothing. The bad guys are the ones that are attacking. There's really nothing along the list of traits that we discussed that would be helpful other than to give him a greater health pool. So in that second when the dodge shield goes down, hopefully he can stay alive. Snowy, Holy Conviction. He has a cooldown. In a couple of heroes now, I'll stop saying cooldown and no cooldown. Pretty much all the heroes after this have a cooldown. Snowy does have a cooldown, and you're going to have to be mindful of that. So just give him damage reduction. He's an older hero. All accuracy. All he does is hit. If he's not hitting, he's just making snowballs. Cupid. Cooldown, all accuracy. Holy Conviction. He's got to get some damage reduction. Without damage reduction, Cupid's a dead man. Now, a Cupid with damage reduction is a guy who can last and can be very, very helpful, especially in something like Forgotten Trials. Give him all dodge. There's nothing about Cupid that requires him to have anything other than dodge. Everything that he does for the team is dependent simply on his own ability. It won't miss. So that great energy production that he provides and huge attack bonus that he provides can never miss. Buffs from friendly heroes can never miss and are not reliant upon accuracy. Immortep, Holy Conviction. He's got a cooldown. It may not be in his skill description, but he certainly does have a cooldown. Otherwise, he would perma-stun people, and he can never do that. Even in the days of Old Boss 3. Holy Conviction, that way, he can at least stay alive for a little while. Now, his traits. I have all HP. I'm not going to go chasing all accuracy on the man. Accuracy, I think, is the better choice. He's designed to hit. He's designed to kill heroes. Problem is, he turns to dust and smoke within 30 seconds. He's an older hero. So I gave him some HP, and that's the way to do it. If I could wave a magic wand, I'd make it all accuracy. But I'm not chasing, down a rabbit hole for Immortep. Moltanica. Okay, now we get into the heroes that pretty much all have a cooldown, a time that they must rest in between skill productions. Moltanica, awesome hero. Give him Holy Conviction. Works really well at high skill level. He is actually able to heal himself and does a great job of being a self-sustainer. Holy Conviction makes that even better. Give him all accuracy. If he's not hitting the enemy, he's not debuffing them. If he's not debuffing them, he's just flying around. Okay, Aries, exactly the same thing. Give him some damage reduction. Give him some accuracy. His reduction in energy, his suspension of a enemy's skill production, all of that is dependent on the enemy getting hit. He needs accuracy in order for that to happen. A high accuracy Aries and forget about Revite. You give him like a Dragon's Cover and maybe a Sacred Light. You throw him out there, friend, he starts wiping people out. If not by silence, by the amount of damage he does in combat. But he's got to have a pretty supportive team. Okay, now we're getting to about stage 2 of Castle Clash. This is where like hair metal bands started. We've got Vlad Dracula, better healing process, damage reduction, something that most of these heroes lack. He needs some Holy Conviction. This is what I'm choosing on my heroes. I'm not saying best choice. I'm not saying number 1. Castle Clash is about a spectrum based on playstyle and availability. This is what I got. Makes sense in my mind. Holy Conviction on Vlad. All accuracy. If he's not hitting, he's just spinning around. The Death Knight. Okay, the other DK. Death Knight, I give him Holy Conviction. He's gotten a damage reduction. All accuracy. If he's not doing that, he's doing exactly what he's doing right now, which is guarding my altar. Death Knight is one of the less useful. Death Knight. One of the less useful heroes in the game. But if he ever becomes of use, he'll need accuracy to be useful. That's the best way to build him. Okay, Orksbane. Orksbane does not have a cooldown. He was a little special hero when he came out. He also had the highest health pool at the time when he was introduced into the game. He is a healer, a self-healer as well. Give him a Holy Conviction and the damage reduction that he currently lacks. Give him all dodge. He's a support hero. He does great damage and he does a slowdown against the enemy, but friends, that's not doing anything today. Okay? At least allow him to heal the guys around you and to stay alive for longer than a few seconds if you're going to use Orc at all. Santa Boom. Okay, the Boom, he's got Holy Conviction to stay alive. Otherwise, he just dies off immediately. He's got traits all accuracy. He can hit buildings. Buildings cannot dodge in this game. And a hero with 0 accuracy, theoretically, can hit every building in this game. And can hit every troop in this game. But you cannot hit heroes in this game. They will always have a higher than 0 dodge dodge rating. So you cannot overcome that. With accuracy, at least he's able to hit bad guys as well. And he can be pretty lethal. Pixie. Okay, Pixie. She does 2 different things. She heals and she takes away some debuffs that your team, some negative conditions. She does that every once in a while. She does a little bit of damage against the enemy. And she also debuffs them and makes them weaker. We've got Holy Conviction to make the healing process on her a little bit better. She has no damage reduction. She needs that. All accuracy. The good things that she does for our team are not accuracy dependent. Our heroes across the board will receive that heal and will receive that negation of negative conditions, not accuracy dependent. But the bad guys won't receive a debuff and won't receive a hit, an attack, and a loss of health in combat without her having accuracy. Siren. I have Siren set up for the old days of Archdemon. She's probably still best in this particular mode. I don't use her much anymore. She is a hero that can do a lot of damage across the board. If you're going to use her in a general game sense, give her a Holy Conviction. She needs damage reduction like these first 30 heroes all need. And if you're going to use her for maybe high DPS game modes, then I would use a Pyre Mage as like a helper or a buddy in combat. And traits all accuracy, or all attack, to get her attack threshold up. Then at that moment, let's say she's taking on an opponent with 500,000 health threshold per hit. With that all attack build, she's able to actually hit up to that 500,000. A weak maybe dodge Siren is going to be hitting at 350. Well, build the heroes to make them best at what they're best at doing. And Siren is somebody who does a lot of attacking and increases the damage that the enemy can take. Warlock. Warlock was always one of my favorite heroes. I wish they would do something with Warlock to make him a little bit more sustainable in battle. But anyway, different video. Holy Conviction. Holy Conviction, give him damage reduction. Yes, he reflects some damage and he provides a reflect to his buddies around him, okay? If you give him damage reduction with any reflect hero, if you lessen the damage that the hero is taking, then less damage is going to be reflected against the bad guys. Well, we think that's a bad thing. Instead of the bad guys taking 50,000 damage, now they're taking 35,000 damage. Well, friend, the reflector cannot reflect if the reflector is dead. Castle Clash is not an attack-oriented game. It is a defensive game. Our hero's skill ability takes several seconds to operate. Our heroes have to stay alive for several seconds at a minimum in order to win in head-to-head scenarios. If your heroes can stay alive long enough to operate their skill, let's say 5, 6, 10 times, you will win the battle. In order to do that, you've got to create defensive builds. You've got to be able to stay in there for the long battle. Anyway, Warlock, Holy Conviction traits all dodge. Nothing that he does is dependent on accuracy. He'll help the whole team. It's only one thing that he does, shoots a little bolt out. It doesn't do anything these days. So let the man stay alive. Let him stay alive and keep helping the whole team. You work him in with the right team, you've got a team that really can reflect a lot of damage. Tree. Tree with Holy Conviction. Tree's that guy that you want to use to bring everybody back. So give him some damage reduction in those moments that you do use him. Moment about Holy Conviction. First, I'm not employed by Holy Conviction. I'm not receiving services from Holy Conviction. These heroes need damage reduction. If there's an enchantment that comes around, Super Backpack, that gives 90% damage reduction and a slow, steady, like once a second healing process, I'm doing that. But that's what we got right now. Tree, you need him to stay alive during that time. Give him all dodge. The only thing we use Tree for is to reduce the damage that our enemies that our heroes are taking in combat, or to revive our heroes after they've died. Neither is dependent on accuracy. They will always happen unless they're silenced. Put Fennec Pet on Tree and he'll never be silenced. Harpy Queen. Harpy Queen needs damage reduction, otherwise she's dead. If you give her damage reduction and you really build her tanky, she can be a lot of fun. She's great in HBM. She's great in hero trials. She's great in just put on your base and just having people come in. She'll slow them down that they're just a snail's pace. Anyway, different video. Give her all accuracy, otherwise nothing's happening. And when you watch the replay, the bad guys are just shooting or coming right past these feathers. None of them are even hitting. She's got to hit. Without that, she's just throwing feathers. We were at Skull Knight. Skull Knight's one of those few heroes that I don't currently have Holy Conviction on in this first series of heroes. Skull Knight has an ability to add to the attack that he is able to perform when his skill is operating. That translates to is an enchantment like Burning Plate is directly tied to the hero's ability to do damage based on its attack. Long story short, when Skull Knight procs, operates his skill, Burning Plate will also get a huge buff, and it will turn people to liquid, to paste. It's one of those things that actually, it doesn't stack. They work in tandem with one another, and they both become stronger. So investigate Burning Plate. It's cool. Traits. All attack. Make him stronger. That's what he's designed to do. Now, if you're going to try going out and killing with this particular build, you've got to provide accuracy. Otherwise, he's just beating people with these heavy strikes, but they're not hitting. So you've got to remember the accuracy component. Accuracy before the attack. Crit before the crit damage. Hit before you do the killing. We are on Dread Drake. Dread Drake is a guy you use for base cleanup. He's great in dungeons, great in destroying buildings, stun people. It's auto proc as well. Give him Holy Conviction. I know he's got a ton of damage reduction already, but there are moments that he doesn't. And in those moments, done, gone. Give him the damage reduction, give him the extra healing ability. It will only work when there's a healer on the team for him. Give him all attack. What am I using him for? To blow up buildings, not to blow up heroes. So I'm not worried about accuracy here because buildings can't dodge. So I'm just hoping that with, 80,000, 90,000 attack, that when he sends out those, 8, 10 cannonballs, that they're actually going to blow up the mana vaults and the gold vaults, and you get your Guild Wars score. That's what I use him for. He's successful with that build. Ghoulem, Holy Conviction, and also because of the healing process. He's a huge healer. he provides damage reduction. Make all of that even better with Holy Conviction. Give him all dodge. Nothing that he does is accuracy dependent. The heal, the damage reduction spreads to the whole team. He doesn't need to actually be accurate. The damage that he does against others will require accuracy. But that damage, my friends, we'd have to go back several presidential administrations before it was actually functional in this game. Okay, he's just there to provide damage reduction and healing. We are on the Candy Cane. Candy Cane, Holy Conviction. You gotta keep her alive. Give her all dodge. She also provides dodge boosts to her teammates. She does really nothing that requires accuracy. Yeah, there's an attack, a little energy reduction. And even back in the day, it was practically meaningless. So just let her provide a dodge boost to the rest of the team and stay alive herself. Oh, Arctica. Holy Conviction. Why? Because Arctica would die immediately without all accuracy. Nothing's going to happen without accuracy. That's what this dragon's built for. This dragon can freeze people up, and that does a pretty good job. There aren't a lot of heroes in this game that are immune to freeze. And so Arctica can do a good job in that role, in that capacity. And still can be used in things like a Lava Isle 3, 4. And we got Phantom King with a Holy Conviction. Once again, I know. But with that, he's toast. He is a really, really high dodge hero. Instead of maybe using him so much, think about if you have epic heroes, think about using him in the hero relic system. He provides a really, really high dodge increase to whatever hero you happen to put him in. And he'll do that regardless of what the traits are on him. He just gets that naturally. Also, Levanica and Ripper do the same. Holy Conviction, all dodge. He's probably better suited with an accuracy if you're going to use him in that capacity. But there are heroes that do a far better job. Really, he's just for, slippery game modes and fun. Accuracy, dodge, you can't go wrong. The Beast. Oh, the Beast was and maybe still is in some capacities used in like Archdemon high DPS game modes. Pyre Mage is that extra helper in combat. If you wanted a general use, I would go Holy Conviction. Traits, all attack. Let him do as much attacking as possible. If not, go all dodge. Try to keep the guy alive. He's too old to play around with. He's a hero that can serve some use, but he's a hero that I wouldn't push too far in any game mode. Lady Leo, Holy Conviction, keep her alive. She can be kind of tanky with this kind of a build. All attack. Accuracy, you're going to need accuracy. If I had, again, a magic wand, I would go accuracy. But sweet goodness, it's Lady Leo. Do I really want to chase accuracy traits when I came up with attacks and I just took that? I mean, come on. I should start a bug farm before I change Lady Leo's traits. So before I grow an ant colony, I'm just going to keep it at that. But accuracy would be much, much better. Grimfiend. Grimfiend, Holy Conviction, otherwise he's a dead man. Attack. Same thing, I would go accuracy. So after the bug farm, I'll start a compost pile, get some worms going. Then we'll work on this and we'll turn accuracy into the number 1. Attack, I think, is probably number 2. But you're going to have to pair him with an accuracy pet. Even when he's full on and he's got like Pumpkin Duke next to him, he still gets slaughtered. They just don't have the damage reduction. They don't have the reflect. They don't have the attack mitigation that our heroes of today have. Music's gotten worse, certainly, but skill descriptions have gotten longer. We're still in the period of Castle Clash where skill descriptions were a paragraph. Now you have to sit down. You have to make a cereal. The cat comes and investigates, asks, "What have you been doing?" You get your reading glasses. You say, "I'm looking at a hero skill description." Anyway, there's Grimfiend, Dracax. Where's Dracax? Here we go. Holy Conviction. Otherwise, he's dead. Traits, all accuracy. Everything that he does is dependent on accuracy. Dracax, like 2 or 3 of our heroes, does serve a purpose, and it's a purpose that goes unheralded. It's a purpose that I just want to, I want to say thank you. Dracax, you have been guarding both the warehouse and the altar for all these years, and doing so silently. I tip my hat to you. Thank you. Medusa, she is a DPS hero, and she does an awesome job. Try her in boss battles. Anything that you want to shut down. Labyrinth goblins, terrific. Give her a helper in battle, a Pyre Mage. Give her all attacks, so she's constantly, no matter what happens, basically, that she's always going to be hitting damage cap. Demo, give him Holy Conviction. Yeah, I guess that now we're kind of moving into phase 3 of Castle Clash, where more options are open, and yeah, you could get away with like a punishing smite Demogorgon, or whatever kind of Demogorgon. You see it on the forum. Oh, I made this kind of Demogorgon. He slayed everybody, and that was great that day. I'm just saying, general build to keep my Demo alive, I've got to give him damage reduction. There are other means. I'm not saying it's the best, but if you want to use Demo in any capacity for more than a couple of raids, you've got to be able to give him that kind of damage reduction. Nice thing about Holy Conviction is, and last thing I'll say about Holy Conviction, it allows you to provide the necessary damage reduction needed in today's game, for it is a defensive game, but it allows you also to keep the talent and insignia slot open. All of the talents and insignias provide bonuses that are far superior to our enchantments. So why would you want to take up an enchantment with something that provides, attack or dodge or something like that? You would give them a little damage reduction and then push the attack, the dodge, the accuracy, all that nastiness. Do it through talent and insignia. So keep him alive with this. He's got to hit. Yeah, he's got critical abilities, this, that, and the other thing. Come on. He's got to hit. That's got to happen first. Trixie Treat. She is an archdemon hero. She is often, depends on what kind of mood I'm in. An empire, Ember Army. High DPS hero. Boss battle, absolutely. Almost got my first billion score on the boss. Pyre Mage, buddy in combat. Just like the other DPS heroes, you want to hit max, you want to hit cap. That's all they're designed to do. In pretty much any other game mode, they just die immediately. They're just designed for this and that. I often hear, just one more aside. Yeah, it's like a campfire chat, this video. I love it. It's taking so long to get so many darn stinking matches. So many times I tune in, I read something, I hear it out in the street. I hear, oh, it's a tier list. What's the best team in the game? Can you make a tier list with the tiers of heroes. What's the best teams? What's the best team? What team of 6 I can make? Castle Clash is not about tiers. Castle Clash is not about teams. Castle Clash is about game modes. Game mode 1 is completely different from game mode 2. If you use the same team from game mode 1 and game mode 2, they'll get destroyed. All of a sudden you failed. It's better to think of Castle Clash as a compendium of game modes. So if you want to make a tier list, hey, let's look at Arena. Let's make a tier list of heroes for Arena. It's got to have that part. Let's make a top whatever for Arena. Great. So, great power. What we look at? We look at Trixie Treat. Yeah, Revenant. Okay. Oh, another one of our great warehouse and altar guardians. My goodness, Revenant. Oh, it really, really does say utterly useless. Holy Conviction, otherwise, you wouldn't even be able to see him for a second. The human eye couldn't even grasp his presence when you put him out on the board. Accuracy, because if he really did work, you'd need him to hit. Lil Nick. I had fun with Lil Nick. Lil Nick, he's a cool hero. He does every 6 seconds drops a frost. That will always happen. Nothing to do with what his skill and his damage capability and garbage. In between those 6 seconds, he gives himself a critical bonus, and remember crit rate. His crit rate goes really, really high, but his crit damage is pretty low. So he's going to perform crits, and they're going to match the damage that he would normally do. It's not going to count as 2 hits. It's going to count as double damage. So why not really, really make that as high as possible? That's the way I thought about it with Lil Nick. Otherwise, what are you doing with him? Hyper strength, up his entire attack. So the initial hit performs a lot of damage. High attack. He's getting a crit. What's the crit multiplier going to be? This guy kills everybody. Except all the heroes that have damage caps. And my gosh, how many have that? Or all the heroes that are practically invulnerable. Or all the hero combinations that you can make that they're just a brick wall. Okay, but, every 10 raids, Lil Nick, he kills 4 heroes. Wow. Heartbreaker. Still one of the preferred archdemon heroes. Pyre Mage, buddy in combat. Same scenario. Make sure she's hitting damage cap, or make that the goal. Try to get her up to 500,000 on archdemon. Whatever boss battle, whatever DPS mode it is, you always want to hit as many times as possible. Archdemon cannot be accomplished with something like a deadly strike. Cannot be accomplished with an attack talent. Seems counterintuitive. It's beaten, those game modes are beaten by speed. If you can always hit the damage cap, the maximum threshold of damage, then the difference between first and second place is speed. Who did it the most number of times in the allotted time given in the event? Someone can do that 30,000 times in 3 minutes. Oh, sweet goodness. It's unbelievable. So that is what Archdemon is all about. It's not about the amount of attack. It's about speed. And when it is about attack, there is at least a portion of the decision-making process that is geared towards speed. It is that combination. Don't worry so much about hitting damage cap once you've got a build like this. Anubis. Nubbins. One of the great heroes, still one of the great heroes, made all of my top 10 lists that I just put out. He's got to have some damage reduction. It's not the old days. But with that, he does very, very well in attack and defensive scenarios. Traits, all attack. He's got to have accuracy. So you've got to pair him with something like a pet where you've decided to put accuracy traits on that pet. Otherwise, he's not doing anything. Now, if you're using Anubis simply to clear troops and to get the party started in a guild wars, then the attack is great. But if you're trying to use him in any other game mode, make sure you have some accuracy on the guy. Revenant. Holy Conviction. Otherwise, dead man. When he comes up out of his stealth, he's dead. All dodge. Let him be the ninja that he is supposed to be. Without that, he's nothing. So allow him to be the best kind of hero that he can be. Make our heroes the best that they can be. Never try to make a general jack of all trades kind of hero. You will find in the end that you have spent all of your resources making a hero that is average in a whole bunch of different things. Each hero is designed uniquely. Each hero is designed to be an expert. Pinpoint the one thing that your hero does best. Invest all your resources in that. In the end, you will find that you have created an expert. That expert will not be able to survive on its own. You bring 5 or 6 experts together on a team. Now, all of a sudden, you can't be beaten. I'm on Gunslinger. One of the greatest heroes of all time. Highest DPS in the game of Castle Clash. Severe for another time. I'm gonna get misty-eyed here. Thank you, Gunny, for your support and for your contribution to this game. The premier. Okay, I gotta give it to Pumpkin Dick. The right up there at the top for best Archdemon heroes of all time, best DPS heroes of all time, great defenders, absolute wonderful HBM, here be monsters. I have her set her for Archdemon and DPS. You've got to do a Pyre Mage for something like that. A better build, a wiser build, and a more general game use build would be a hero build with Gunslinger with a Holy Conviction. Allow her to stay alive. And then give her dodge. I gave her all accuracy for DPS and hitting damage caps. Give her dodge. Or give her health, but I think better dodge. She has good damage reduction built in, but she has very little dodge. Give her a dodge build, and boy, you'd fly through HBMs. Rockno, probably with a Holy Conviction would be best. He's great for dungeons. I have him with a Burning Plate. That's for Warden challenges. He does not have that same kind of Burning Plate transfer of attack that Skull Knight has. So it's there just for Warden. I think Holy Conviction is best. Accuracy, without that, he's just a Rhino. Oh, the Mech Tessa. She does not have that ability that Skull Knight has either, but Mech Tessa is there for Warden Challenge. Mech Tessa, it's pretty tough to say what kind of enchantment she has. She should use. She does have a damage cap, but she has the old school version. The prehistoric version of a damage cap. There's a time that she becomes completely vulnerable, and maybe a Holy Conviction would be probably the best kind of Mech Tessa. Otherwise, she's just done. Otherwise, she's just an anomaly. Burning Plate for the Warden. Accuracy. Otherwise, there's no reason. Why are you using Mech Tessa? Well, to hit. If she's not hitting, then don't use Mech Tessa. Skeletica. Holy Conviction. Yeah, he becomes invulnerable. This is we're going into stage 4 of Castle Clash. This is where invulnerable means for the moment that the hero is not taking damage, the hero is being surrounded by the enemy. And the moment the invulnerability wears off, the mob that is pounding on you utterly obliterates you. And that's what happens with Skelly, unless he's got some damage reduction. Give him something like a Holy Conviction. You can really get tricky with the talents and insignias. Accuracy, otherwise he's doing nothing. Walla Walla. Walla Walla. Man, I could just do a video just philosophically on Walla Walla. One of the true great heroes in the game. Made every top 10 list that I just put out. Best healer in the game. Yeah, we can talk numbers. Saying this particular hero has got higher healing threshold. Friends, no. No. We're sitting by a campfire here. Talk numbers. We're counting marshmallows, okay? Old Man Walla was there since the beginning. He has really earned his place in Castle Clash. Now, best Walla build is probably a Holy Conviction. It's going to just help him to be a better Walla. I find that Walla these days, especially with the ways that we can upgrade our heroes and just how sturdy and well built he is as a hero, I can try a whole bunch of different things. I love having melees on him. I love having the ability to shut down the healing of 2 enemies and to do it to a degree of 100%. Especially with these dynamic teams running out there, bullying people. You shut down the healing, all of a sudden Dynamica doesn't have anything to say. But Holy Conviction is probably the best way to go. Keep him alive at all times and use some kind of a pet or other way to help to reduce healing. He can reduce healing too, but not all the time and not completely. Traits. Yeah. It's breaking my heart. My favorite game mode is Archdemon. We use Walla. Sometimes in Archdemon, I went all attack on him. The best Walla is a dodge Walla by leaps and bounds. Okay, this Walla is the child compared to a dodge Walla. Old man Walla, this is just like the young learning junior version of Walla. Go full dodge on the guy. If not health, but I would just stick around for dodge. Don't go attack unless you're crazy and you enjoy Archdemon, and that's really about it. Creation. Oh man, one of my favorites. Creation, Holy Conviction, keep him alive. Accuracy. Without that, he is just got bolts in his head. He does a great job stunning people, and he does great damage over time. That's very, very successful in today's game from a base defense standpoint. Athene with Holy Conviction. She got no damage reduction, otherwise she's dead. Dodge. She is a support hero. Yeah, she brings some lightning strikes down from above. That's a disco ball. Okay? No. Even back in the day, that didn't do anything. But right now, with all dodge, she's doing what she's supposed to do. Give these awesome buffs. Like maybe third, fourth best buffer in the game. Maybe like fourth best buffer in the game. What does it matter? One of the best buffers in the game. Sass. Holy Conviction. Make him even a sturdier tank than he is already. All dodge. He doesn't need accuracy. The guy walks into the bar and just starts smashing all the tables. Okay, the bartender knows he's there. You don't need accuracy on Sasquatch. He's not a surgeon. He's a brawler. Espirita. Holy Conviction for all the reasons that I've stated, but also dodge. Now, Espirita is going to need accuracy, yes, but I gotta dodge, and again, when we start living on Mars and that problem's been solved, then I'll go back and I'll put accuracy on Espirita. I do promise that. But for right now, it's dodge, and Espirita is she's kind of like a hero killer in a sense. She's like a hero tickler. Okay, she'll tickle him with a feather. She's not too super strong. Accuracy is best, but I came up with this dodge and Holy Conviction, of course. Otherwise, she's out. Okay, Dovekeeper. Dovekeeper is so fantastic. It's so fantastic. There's so many ways to go with Dove. I use Dove in high DPS game modes like Archdemon and boss battle and all this kind of stuff. And when I'm doing that, I do change the enchantment. When that 10-day cycle comes around, Archdemon comes around, I put a Pyre Mage on her. But for the other 9, another 8 days out of the week, I'm going with whatever I like to try. But I have a Spectre's Instinct on here. I want to make sure that you knew that Spectre's Instinct really does work well on Dove. It locks up the enemy while at the same time she's debuffing them through her skill and her love doves and doing multiple strike damage and this kill strike kind of ability. Now, sadly, Dove is starting to go the way of so many of our heroes. And, the sad thing about these heroes is the strongest heroes of yesterday end up becoming, distant memories. And Dove is moving down that direction. She can't take out damage-capped heroes. She's fish food for Dynamica, etc., etc. But in the right game modes, not about tiers, not about best teams, right game modes, there are very few heroes that can do better than Dovekeeper. So Spectre's Instinct, give it a try if you haven't, but there's so many great enchantments for Dove. and all attack because I run her an Archdemon. I don't change traits. I'll change an enchantment now and again, but I don't I'm gonna change the traits. So all attack, so she hits the damage threshold. All accuracy is the best of to make. By leaps and bounds, number one choice, all accuracy. Don't go dodge or any of this stuff. Don't make Dove your Doom Balloon carrier. There are better heroes for Doom Balloon carrying. And those heroes will serve you better, and not Dove. She's a surgeon and a hero killer. Give her accuracy. Serena. Holy Conviction. Keep her alive. Give her all dodge. Without that, she's dead. She also does a nice job of reviving. And I do want to give a big shout out to Serena in any version of Lava Isle. May I recommend her, please? Because she does revive. And that helps all of us. There would be 20 possible heroes on the board if you're playing with 3 other players. She will provide revives. She will provide attack bonuses to heroes during that time. And she will provide multiple global attacks against the bosses that are around the board. She's a great hero that does all those kinds of things. Like Tree won't do that. Rambard won't do that. But she does. Great Lava Isle hero. Storm, DPS hero. Pyre Mage. Give him attack. Let him do drill down kind of damage. It's based on the total health of the hero. You can't change that factor, but all the other time he's going to be nuking him. Real nice hero for that, but not for much else. We've got Lava. We've got Holy Conviction. Okay, Lava. Lava, it's a long story with Lava. Lava is a hero that I think is very, very helpful. I used to use him in Archdemon. I used to have all attack on him. He used to get killed all the time. Sometimes I can keep him alive, but only because of this build I've been using for like the last year and a half. Holy Conviction, otherwise dead. All dodge. Lava has the number one, if not somewhere around Phantom King, but around number 1, number 2, highest dodge bonus in the game of Castle Clash. If you use him in the hero relic system, he'll give that epic hero a huge dodge bonus, just naturally, regardless of traits. But dodge just like this, and a pet that happens to carry dodge, plus bonuses from things like Cute Kitsune, etc., you can have the guy's dodge at 40,000. I mean, no problem. And he can be really tough to deal with in that kind of a circumstance, especially head-to-head. Accuracy is also something I think that would be very, very important. You could do an accuracy pet as well, but he's very, very good at dodge. One of the absolute experts. Make him better at what they're supposed to do. I went dodge now, and I wouldn't change it. I mean, he's a great dodge hero, and he's still a hero that you can get a good amount of mileage out of. Just be careful during that second or so that his damage cap goes away. Ashura, Holy Conviction. He's a reflector of damage, and that's going to reduce it, damage reduction. But dead Ashuras reflect nothing. All accuracy, because he does these really awesome hits and this, that, and the other thing, and without accuracy, he's not doing anything. Mahatma. Okay, Mahatma, Pyre Mage, she's kind of like a Storm Eater in the sense that I use her for DPS and like really fast attacks. Pyre Mage helps with that. Pyre Mage is a buddy in combat, trying to hit attack, cap, maximum DPS attack threshold. And that's what I'm trying to do with my Mahatma. Still a nice hero. If you want to use Mahatma in general game modes, I think there are better heroes, but she could be helpful still, especially in things like dungeons, etc. I would go probably with like accuracy or dodge, something like that. You could do a life drain or vampiric grail would be very, very nice on her. Different video. Okay, Rowdy Rascal. Keep him alive. Holy Conviction. Give him the ability to hit. Without that, he is just rowdy. Bogeyman. Bogeyman's the kind of guy who can kill Dynamica like that. It will take 3 or 4 drops, 3 or 4 tries during Guild Wars, but if you are willing to take the time, Dinah's bye-bye. Dinah's damage cap only kicks in when he is at half health and below. And that means that if he takes a strike that is equal or greater than his health pool, then Dinah will die. Bogey is able to do that with that kind of strike damage. Bogey is designed only for that. My Bogey is designed to do hyper strength just for the attack bonus. A Unholy Pact talent, a revitalized insignia, making sure all the troops are dead by sending out Anubis first, and all accuracy. Otherwise, the hit doesn't actually register against Dynamica. He's got to have accuracy. I typically put him in punching box. If he is not able to hit Dyna in punching box, I put a pet that has accuracy on him and just hope for the best. But, often he can be 40-50% of the time he can be successful. But, hey, great. Kamo, give her Holy Conviction. Let her stay alive. Let her be a tank. Dodge. She does not have to get hit and take damage in order to activate her skill and drop Anchor. Well, let me be a man here and drink from my juice box. Thank you very much. She does not have to take damage or be attacked to drop Anchor. She only has to be targeted. And that's what Castle Clash calls attacking. It's when the bad guys say, oh, here comes Commodora, and they all start charging at her and throwing stuff at her. She doesn't actually have to take damage. She can dodge. So a successful dodge counts as an attack from the enemy. All she has to do is be in that circumstance, and she'll start activating her skill. So a high dodge Commodora means that the Commodora that gets hit less, while at the same time dropping Anchor and destroying bases. She is not a global attacker. If you fill the whole board with buildings, she might take out like 80% of it, but that's about it. She's not going to do it all on her own. There's like a certain range. I don't know how many squares it is. Maybe like 30 squares, 35 squares. I don't know what. But not the whole board. But she is one of the best base smashers in the game, Laz. Keep him alive. Okay, he goes invulnerable for something like 4 out of 5 seconds. Don't quote me. During that time, taking no damage. Okay, why would you want damage reduction? Well, it's just like invulnerability with Skelly. During that 1 second, done, gone. Okay? Make sure he's got damage reduction to restrain the people who are going to be pummeling him during that moment that he is vulnerable. Other things to do on Laz, absolutely, but I think this one keeps him alive the longest. I have all dodge. I was lucky to get dodge on the guy. I don't think that dodge is necessarily his best, but it's kind of like Laz is a good enough hero that he does everything pretty well. Now, why would you want accuracy when he's not taking damage, not attacking in that way? He's just kind of a wall. Just thought, let him stay alive during that 1 second and then just keep blowing everything up. Okay? When there's a more brilliant Laz build, let me know. But, accuracy, dodge. Laz is a wonderful hero that'll stay alive on his own. Health, that's great. Laz is a hero that has no healing capability. So make sure you have a healer on a team. Or put him on Bublo, and he moves super quick. Boom, starts blowing everything up. And, then half your troubles are done. And then, no problem. We got, oh my God, Rosaline. Rosaline is, she was probably the hardest hero to get for me. I remember, I don't know how long ago, 2-3 years ago when she first came out. She was like this really, really long multi-month event hero. She's a hero that can do a lot of damage, not the kind of sustained damage that you need against damage-capped heroes, but she's still a great hero, especially against small crowds, player versus player. Holy Conviction. Traits, you want to go with all accuracy. Otherwise, she's just spinning plates. Make sure that she's the hero killer that she wants to be. Cosmo. Used to use Cosmo in Archdemon. Don't do him anymore. Cosmo is just really a base defender, or in some cases an attacker if you want to do damage, this, that, and the other thing. Holy Conviction. Let him stay alive. Traits. Give him all accuracy. So he's actually hitting. He does a tremendous amount of damage with his paralysis bubble. He does not need to be in addition doing higher attack damage. Let him actually hit, in addition to all the paralysis that he's causing. And he can really hold a lot of, even premier heroes, hold them from doing their skill activation. He won't necessarily kill them, but he'll prevent them, hopefully, from killing your heroes. Ripper. Give him a Holy Conviction, otherwise he's pretty much toast. Ripper is one of those few heroes that has, basically perfect accuracy built into his skill description, and you want to avoid accuracy as a trait. All dodge. Ripper's designed to dodge. He gets a dodge bonus as well in combat, and make that even better. Make our heroes even better at what they do. And Ripper is a great hero. Great hero with silence. Many heroes are immune to silence, but wow, he does a heck of a ton of attack damage. If you never told us that he did silence, I wouldn't be as disappointed. Valen. Speaking of, Valen is, keep him alive, otherwise he's a dead man. And traits. Yeah, he's a crit guy. And his healing is based on the damage that he does from critical strikes. Well, without crit, without the ability to perform critical strikes in combat, he will not do critical damage. He could be super high on crit damage and just hitting, the enemy just dodging. Okay, so he's got to have super, super high crit in order to perform critical strikes. That's great against the computer, and he will be successful in that. But against head-to-head against heroes that have actual dodge, he's going to also need an accuracy pad. And by the time you've built this intricate machine of a hero, you've realized that all these things can be done better by a different hero. And that's the sad thing. But this would be the preferred build if you want to take advantage of his skill ability. Zeph. Super hero. One of the best. Made several of my top 10s. Can be built so many different ways. A different video for a different time. This is what I have on him right now. Okay, I've got Spectres in his thing. Really, really great. For the same reasons that it's great on Dove. Makes him better at what he does. Makes him even better base defender. Better attacker. In the sense that he makes the enemy weaker and less able to do what they want to do. Traits, all accuracy. Okay, he is the quintessential definition of a hero killer. Without accuracy, he is just a dragon who's spinning wind. Occultist, always keeps shifting over. Occultist. Occultist is a healer, not as good as a Walla. I think one of the things that two things that hold Occultist back, super brief. He has a range limitation, and heroes outside of an approximate 14 square range of distance will not receive the heal that he provides. Walla is global. Anywhere he's going to be healing everybody. Occultist does not do that. Also, the Occultist and the friendly heroes all have to be taking damage in order for Occultist to provide healing. In the sense that the damage that is caused our friendlies is turned into healing. But you'll find that all of a sudden the damage becomes too great for his healing process to make up for it, and heroes start dropping off pretty quick. Very, very good for certain game modes, okay? Not about tiers, about game modes. Great for certain game modes. Holy Conviction, make him a better Occultist, and dodge. Nothing about what he does. Requires accuracy of any kind. He throws a knife every 45 minutes, okay, and it's plastic. Other than that, he's not an attacker of any kind. Okay, Phobos. He is a real great reflector, sender backer of damage in the game of Castle Clash, and Holy Conviction is going to reduce that ability. But Phobos, without that, especially in the days, I said this in the days of Zeph, his days of Dove. No, he was only around Zeph. In the days of Zeph, the constant blasts of true damage and all this, it nullifies, it liquidates Phobos. He's got to have damage reduction. Now with Dynamica, doubly, triple so. Give him some Holy Conviction. If not, give him one of these, the energy one that reduces energy, anything that ups his health. Anything that doesn't mess around with his deflect, that's great. Anything that provides silence, the Hourglass one, he already provides silence against nearby enemy heroes, but only a certain number for a certain amount of time. The Hourglass one might help with that. Traits, all dodge. I think accuracy is like, out of 100%, 70% might say accuracy is better because of what he does. He does other things as well that require him to stay alive and to help the team. He's a team player, and I find him to be very, very disruptive with this build and keeping very lethal heroes from killing off my heroes, either through reduction or the fact that they're attacking him and he's not dying. And that is very, very helpful and a skill unto itself. But if you want him to be a killer, then you're going to have to give him accuracy. If you want to be part of a hero-killing team, investigate a build of different blends of abilities. If I were taking him out hero-killing, and I do, he's one of the best heroes in the game, made all of my best lists, I would put a hero that is pure accuracy. Then all of a sudden, most heroes aren't hitting him. He is hitting almost all heroes, and doing so multiple ways while still having enough damage reduction that if he gets hit with a 15 million Dovekeeper strike, he doesn't get killed immediately. Queen Wasp, Holy Conviction, otherwise she's dead. And she is primarily, does other things, but other heroes do those things better. She is primarily a buffer or a helper of the team. Let buffers remain alive by giving them dodge. If they're not primary attackers, then they're doing just things to help the team. Those things are not reliant upon accuracy. Investigate only something else. Hot Shot. Every time you open one of those cards, what is it? Hot Shot. Holy Conviction, otherwise he's dead. Yeah, you can do different things. And it's all dependent on might level, gameplay, etc., etc., etc. But, in these days, this cowboy can't even get up on the horse before he's dead. You need traits that have accuracy. Otherwise, he's just, out by the outhouse, shooting an oak tree. He's got to be able to hit. Bloody Mary. It's taking me back. I don't know what it does. It got mind of its own. Bloody Mary. Bloody Mary is an awesome, awesome hero. Lots of ways to build Bloody Mary. You can build Bloody Mary with a little bit of reflect and a little bit of extra damage. So she's able to, while she's alive, take out guys like Zev and, take out Dovekeeper, etc., etc. Use a little bit of Victory Lunge. Use a little bit of Hyper Strength. These things are great. Holy Conviction, I'm talking general build, keeping her alive. So, when you drop out on the board, she gets hit by auto proc. She doesn't instantly die. She's able to engage in combat. I can use her in HBM, variety of game modes, a lot of different ways. This is what I got. All accuracy. I don't see any other reason, any other trait, other than if you're trying to build a hero, in Bloody Mary's case, that is designed for a specific game mode. So I'm not telling anybody they're wrong with their build. If you're doing advanced, super, super advanced, fast time, trial times on HBM AK, then you might want to have a Bloody Mary that's all dodge. And I would do that, and I wouldn't say one word. I would say, my gosh, what an awesome Bloody Mary. So I'm not talking about what's best. I'm talking about general use build. And if you're willing to pursue that, you would know and have that already. I don't, because, I'm okay where I am. I'm happy just to be in the top 20. Landwalker. Landwalker's got Holy Conviction, and I got traits all HP. Yeah, probably better to have dodge. But, what did we have? Last time we were colonizing Mars. When we are in the star, I'm not allowed to say any certain particular copyright. When we're in another galaxy that isn't around here, back in the day, and I'm talking to an animatronic dog, on that day I will say, hey, I gotta turn Landwalker into, all dodge. or all accuracy. But for right now, Landwalker is sitting in the garage, and he's still rusting. Pretty much a useless hero. Just leave him as he is. Jumbear, a little bit less useless. Not Dracax level, not Landwalker level. But, in the general neighborhoods, certainly same zip code. Holy Conviction, otherwise he's a dead man. Okay, maybe he's okay in HPM. He's got all dodge. He does different things. Yeah, he provides a little bit of stun action, a little bit of area of effect damage, but it's so minuscule. Really, you're just trying to keep him alive in the 1 or 2 game modes that he excels. And that's kind of being an upfront wall that blocks others. Well, you don't need accuracy for that. You just have to stay alive long enough that they're hitting you. That's what he does. He's a meat shield. Rambard, interesting hero, made pretty much every top 10 list that I made. Holy Conviction, keep him alive. Great with his skill. Great with his ability. Traits, give him the ability to dodge. Nothing that he does is dependent upon accuracy. He is practically a pacifist. The man's a Quaker. Okay, he does not attack. He is just a support hero. Give him dodge. If anybody gets dodge, it's going to be Rampart. Okay, he's the choice number 1. And then like a true piety build and like a holy conviction. A true piety build and like a sacred light, that kind of a thing. See my other videos. He's a hero that you can make near invulnerable in the days of Dynamica. That doesn't always work, but in the right circumstance, under the right conditions, you can get him to do a very, very good job. One of the premier heroes in the game. Crystal Wraith, used only by me for Archdemon. I don't know if there is a general build Crystal Wraith. It's kind of like making like a general build Thunder God. He's good and all, but even if you get him, I would tell you don't invest too many resources in him, because you're going to find very quickly a different hero that does a far better job at whatever it is you're trying to accomplish. He's a hero for a specific game mode. One of the premier DPS heroes and helpers in the process of creating high DPS heroes. A Pyromage as an extra helper in combat. Attack so he hits the DPS or high damage threshold against pretty much whatever demon or bad guy that he's trying to attack. Crystal Wraith, really it's just about that. I wouldn't go general game use on him, but if you are, hey, Holy Conviction, give the guy accuracy, otherwise he's not hitting at all. Boreal Fox, really, really nice hero, great defender, also does relatively decent base damage. Holy Conviction, because Fox ends up getting killed pretty quick. Very susceptible to reflect and deflect. This is not the video for this, but remember your reflect and deflect with Wicked Armor and Dragon's Cover, things like that. Your heroes can die by the damage that they cause others. Traits, all dodge. Now when I use Boreal Fox, I always pair Fox with a pet that's all accuracy, and I get the accuracy. Sky High Fox is great, and he's got a lot of dodge to stay alive and a lot of accuracy to always hit. So you're gonna have to have accuracy, probably as choice number 1. My dodge would be maybe choice number 2, but definitely number 1 is accuracy. But I came up with the dodge in sweet goodness. Until I'm feeding biscuits to the animatronic dog that I met, I'm sticking with accuracy. Okay, so I've got back here at Ice Lady. I have to keep going back. Ice Lady, man, we're at the point where music was it's all auto-tuned now. Ice Lady, Pyromage. I use Ice Lady for DPS. She provides attack. I think an attack speed boost as well. She's got a cooldown though. She's not nearly as good as a Pumpkin Duke. She's like Pumpkin Duke after he's had a couple. Pyromage is slightly successful in helping to get the DPS up, but she is designed to help get the DPS up of the whole team. Traits, all dodge. Yeah, I could turn it to all attack and make her a better DPS helper, but there are better heroes for that. I occasionally use her in the most vague of game modes. This way I get to use her in a variety of game modes the few times that she does come out. If you're going to use general build, go with a dodge. Let her be a support hero. Give her things like Sacred Light, etc. Give her a Holy Conviction. If you're going to go with DPS mode, go with a Pyre Mage. Go with all attack. And let her be a killer. Although she, might get killed. Valiant Saintist. I have Victory Lunge. I love Victory Lunge on Valiant Saintist. Yeah, I could go Holy Conviction like I did with Mary, but I find that Valiant Saintist built-in healing process and like self-heal process does a great job at keeping her alive. And I love the fact that Victory Lunge provides a very significant attack increase, allowing Saintess to kill off heroes often in one strike, but also provides a reflect, which in a way is a shield that gives the much needed damage reduction to Valiant Saintess. Valiant's one of those few that can get away with this. Holy Conviction would be superb. A Hyper Strength might be pushing it too far, and you'll find that either she gets killed the moment she gets put out on the board, or after just a second or two of attacking, she's dead. Traits, all accuracy. It's the only thing really for her. She's just designed to hit heroes. Without that, she's just Saint. We've got Rune Master. Rune Master with Holy Conviction. Yeah, he's got damage cap, but just like Dynamica, he's got to be pardon my screen, it's so long. He's got to be halfway dead before the darn damage cap kicks in. Without that, the guy's a dead man. So you could drop a bogey down, you could drop a certain Dovekeeper builds, he's gone. So you've got to give him some kind of damage reduction. Also, he's the kind of guy that does not survive as well as, say, a Zephyrica. He's got no built-in healing and, self-sustaining process. You've got to give him some way to deal with that initial wave of attacks, that initial threshold that comes his way. All accuracy. Wow, this guy does a lot of things. And many of them are not at all dependent on accuracy. He's a great buffer of the team. Made, most of my, if not all of my top 10 lists. Great buffer of the team. Wonderful addition to any team. Nobody would be turning their nose up at Rune Master. He's fantastic. But because half the things he does are not dependent on accuracy, and I know they're going to work anyway, why not give him accuracy and get 100% of all the stuff to work? Boom. Cinder Matron. Okay, Cinder Matron. Yeah, the second aunt to Dracax. She's guarding the exterior. She's guarding the door of the warehouse. It's just one of those heroes that, really doesn't do much, doesn't help too much. In my opinion, I'm sorry if Cinder Matron's your favorite hero. I don't mean her personally. I'm just talking as a casual clasher. Holy Conviction, otherwise she's dead. Traits. Okay, she's a great crit damage creator and crit hitter, but without crit, high enough crit, none of that's going to happen. So I have to give her all crit, just like I did with Valen. Only now, she doesn't have enough accuracy to actually hit the opponent. She, like several other heroes in Castle Clash, suffer from, I think, maybe too active a programming mind. Where the programmer, I don't mean this with disrespect, I mean too active, too hyperactive in the imagination. You set a goal for a hero, but it requires so many steps in the ladder in order to reach that goal that the hero has now been rendered useless. I can't use this hero anywhere. This hero can't even inflate a tire. Okay, so... But if you want to use Cinder Matron and theoretically on paper get the best out of her, you would do that. Alpha Mech, okay, yeah, Holy Conviction, traits, all accuracy. With his disc, he can do, sort of, kind of okay damage. Not a great hero, I think. But without accuracy, he's not doing anything at all. He's just like a robot sweeper. And that's it. He's just cleaning the carpet. Dark Mage. Holy Conviction, otherwise he's dead. Accuracy, otherwise he's not going to do anything at all. We used to need him to kill off Rambard. For like a month and a half, 2 months, he was the only hero that could, that could kill off Rambard by itself and, in an efficient manner. Okay, other ways to do it, of course. My goodness, send me a letter. But, that made him great. But now there are other ways to kill off Rambard. He is still a useful hero, but he's got to have accuracy. And I've found that without a Holy Conviction and some damage reduction, he can't be useful in any way. Berserker can be useful at doing base damage. I don't think that the self-destruct that's built in can really take out the heroes of today. Sure, it can under lab circumstances where, your friends set the hero up on a certain base and all this kind of stuff. Come in and you can show me that clip, but on the Sunday I gotta do a Guild Wars, that's not happening. So I just use him for some base damage occasionally or some dungeons. Give him some Holy Conviction, keep him alive. Without accuracy, he's not doing anything. Yeah, the buildings can't dodge, and the accuracy is not required for building damage. But if I want to take out any heroes in the meantime, give him accuracy. I could also say that dodge would be a great thing for him. Probably better if I just wanted to relegate him to simply building damage. But with this build, I get 1 or 2 heroes killed, and all the buildings are done. Wordless Zealot. Okay, we're like in stage 4.5 right now, 4 of Castle Clash. My gosh, the political system right now, it's killing us all. Wordless Zealot. Holy Conviction. Otherwise, the guy's dead. He's got a great skill description. It's one of those, you sit back, you light a fire, you get a bowl of cereal, you stroke the cat, and you begin to read this long skill description. But he doesn't perform in that way. He performs in that way in a computer vacuum, but not in real gameplay against human opponents. Accuracy, otherwise he's not hitting anything, and he's just a new hero that fills the altar. Okay, Miss Magic, she does have a couple of different uses. There is a great general build for Miss Magic. She will provide wonderful energy production and a regain production advance for your team. She'll provide great dodge for your team, provide a heal for your team. I believe maybe an attack speed boost as well. She will take away most of these things from the attackers. She'll debuff them. A great general build, Miss Magic, would be dodge, and would provide maybe a Holy Conviction enchantment. And you could get away with using Miss Magic in a lot of different game modes and do very, very well. I use her in only one game mode, and that only one series of game modes, and that's DPS related game modes. And I must be frank with you, I've not gotten Miss Magic to perform nearly at the level of like a gunslinger or a Trixie Treat or any of that kind of stuff. I'm not making that claim. I'm just saying that she has that capability like an Ice Lady, where in certain circumstances, yeah, you can get her to perform very well. I use her just for that. So Pyre Mage and all attack. Otherwise, it'd be probably all dodge and a Holy Conviction. Use her as a buffer and helper for the team. A Dynamica. I have Holy Conviction. Dynamica is currently, it's my opinion, it's currently the best hero in the game. I'll be so bold as to say that no matter what hero you pick in the Castle Clash Hero Altar as of the date of this video production, and no matter how well you've built that hero, or how high in skill and ability that hero is, it will lose to Dynamica. The only Dynamica that's going to lose is one that has not been built or skilled up in really any fashion. So a hero like Dynamica is pretty much unstoppable, unless you've got a team together that can help to dispel its powers and abilities. One of the ways is, like I said, with Bogeyman, you can one-shot Dynamica, also with specific Dovekeeper builds. Give Dynamica damage reduction somewhere. Maybe a Dragon's Cover, which would help to mitigate reflect damage as well as provide damage reduction. I think that's probably Dynamica's best talent for the majority of players. If I could choose one, I'd probably just choose that. It would take care of a lot of things. But for enchantment, always have in your mind that there's got to be some kind of damage reduction. If you don't have that through talent or insignia, go with enchantment. Holy Conviction's great. If you have damage reduction in some other form, and it is reliable damage reduction that keeps Dynamica alive and prevents the one-shot, then go to town and have all the great fun with all the great enchantments that are out there. Each of them provides some kind of benefit to Dynamica, and it can be fun. But Holy Conviction, I think, is probably still the best. For traits, accuracy. Gotta be the best hero killer in the game. Without accuracy, there's no hero killing. Demon Stalker. Demon Stalker, Holy Conviction, otherwise he's dead. Yeah, he gets damage reduction boost, but sweet goodness, he'd turn to dust under most circumstances. Alaz will freeze him up, and a bunch of other folks will take him out. He's a hero that can get really high up in stats, but has a low survivability as well as low usage in this game in terms of his purpose. Accuracy, fantastic, because you've got to be able to hit. Otherwise, what's he doing? He's just clowning around. Got to be able to hit with accuracy. Young Spark, same thing. I'm sorry, but I think most of the epic heroes are, they don't really do anything too well. It's as if they want to replace legendary heroes in this game with epic heroes, and they're doing that in terms of the stock that's on the shelf. But the items that are in my pocket that I use every day are the legendary heroes based on their superior skill description and their ability to perform in battle. Young Spark, what's he doing? Yeah, he's guarding the warehouse. He's hanging out with Dracax. He's having a cold one with... we got the darn Holy Conviction, like per usual. We've got traits without accuracy. The guy's doing even less than he's currently doing, and that's very, very little. So make sure that you give him the ability to at least say to others, I have the ability to do something. Boa Queen, hey, not bad. Decent DPS hero. Sometimes every once in a great while, I might try her out in Archdemon. She is a unreliable Archdemon hero, but a hero that is among the options. Good DPS hero, great for dungeons, Labyrinth, not for dungeons, great for Labyrinth, great for boss battle, great for Lava Isle, anywhere where you want to get as many hits in as possible. We're not trying to do damage, we're trying to hit repeatedly over time. Pyramage is a buddy in combat, always trying to hit the maximum threshold for damage. Is there a better Boa Queen build? I would say no. She's a very, very slow attacker. If you put accuracy on her, you would find that as a base defender, yeah, she's hitting the enemy, but my gosh, she's so slow. Your base has been turned to pulp by the time her boas have even gotten out to the edges of the board. I mean, you're already at 75% against you. So, I use her for DPS. I'd probably just do the same. Hey, if you wanted to build a different Boa Queen, maybe go accuracy, go with like a Holy Conviction or something. But I swear along the lines, you'll find that there are better heroes for that. Why not use a Dove? A Water Priestess, another hero that's just, hey, she's there. Holy Conviction, keep her alive. All dodge. She's a support hero. She's like a little mini Walla that kind of causes a wave. Yeah. And she is backed up by Mad Inventor. Mad Inventor is another hero that just kind of does something. Yeah, he does a global proc, but yeah, hey. It's once in a while, and it's very limited. Holy Conviction, so he doesn't die off. Yeah, he gets super, super high stats. Yeah, he can get his health up to the millions. Yeah, he can be 3 times as strong as a legendary hero. but so can somebody else's legendary hero. So it all equals out in the end. You know, still one strike and the guy get killed. Give him some damage reduction. Traits all accuracy. Otherwise, he's not doing anything. Last two. Wow, then we're done. Axe Punisher. Love him. Okay, only two thus far. Just my opinion. Only two thus far of the epic heroes that they have put out are, for me, really, really good heroes. Heroes that I use and that I feel that are beneficial in game modes. Axe Punisher, one of the best base damagers in the game. And Dynamica, the best hero killer in the game. So Axe Punisher, Holy Conviction. I also found that Energy Surge is super great. Stops Gunslinger Copters and energy reduction, stops Phobos, all that kind of stuff. But I do prefer, in general game modes, to have some damage reduction on the guy. And all dodge. Let him dodge all day long, you know, and just drop, you know, all over the board. 35 seconds later, it's gone. Just make sure to clear those troops off. Otherwise, it takes a really long time. So drop Anubis first, clear off the troops, then drop Axe Punisher, game over. Massacre. Come on. By the time he reaches the guy he's trying to kill, he's dead. Okay, so, and he comes up so slowly. You know, it's like being stalked by an old man with a cane. And he says, you know, hold up, Sonny, I'm coming towards you. And you just say, all right. And then, you know, finally he's taken out by a troop. Holy Conviction. And he's got traits, accuracy. Of course, so he can hit. When? I don't know when. When you use him. Well, if you use him, you realize there's something better. If you're using him, I hope that you realize that there is something better because there are better heroes out there. We'll see how the two new heroes come. I think it'll be two new stories to tell. I hope you have enjoyed this. Wow, what a trip! Let's reminisce as we head off on this video. Looking back. My gosh, and the music gets better and better the further we get back in time. Food gets better, music gets better, life gets easier. Just want to soak this in. I hope you have enjoyed this video. I hope you have enjoyed your clashing. If you enjoyed this look at enchantments and traits and this look down Castle Clash memory lane. This is Judicious Fire signing off from the Armory. I wish you the happiest of clashing. Goodbye.